trying to figure something out. Lolo! Vení. So I need to set up my necesito que me traigas el cable para enchufar el teléfono acá. Okay, so sorry about that, but I need the chat. Never. I need the chat on the phone, so I need to program my phone so it doesn't block. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna, I think I unplugged it. Yes, I did. Okay, I'm back. Can I have the chat like that? No, I can't. It needs to be standing up. Okay, so if you want to give me a gift, I need something to stand my phone. I need something to place my phone so it's standing. So anyway, I picked up the image a while ago, like I don't know, maybe half an hour ago. I was actually talking to Natasha, you know, the photographer from the portfolio review. We are going to do a few interesting things together. So far, this is where I'm at. So what I was doing today, also for those of you who were not here yesterday, what I did was composite a few images into one image to create the idea that I had in my head, that whatever the photographer wanted, to cover this part that was going inwards so it would go outwards. So now I'm cleaning it up, and then I'm gonna mask it, and we are going to use one of those very fake looking backgrounds that agencies love. This hair is being done as if it was for advertising. So even you are going to get to see it when you see the PSD, but even when you zoom in really close, all the details are there and there is no mismatch. Well, luckily there won't be any mismatches of texture. If you can find any though, I'm happy to receive criticism, because I hardly never do. It's amazing that when you're already working, it's very rare that people tell you when something is wrong, because, well, I don't know, they don't trust themselves, or they figure I know better. But sometimes I don't see things, you know, just like you. Well, maybe less often. Maybe less often, but I missed things. I used to send my stuff to Jeremy, you know, from the group, because he's Natalia level honest. So if I want truth, I send it to him. So if anyone wasn't here yesterday and has any questions, let me know. I'm looking at the chat. So everyone's saying hello, I see. Hello, 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 hello. I'll be watching the chat. I mean, not all the time, but if you want to ask something, by the way, I think I activated sounds for the chat, but no one is using them. So can you tell me if you can see the sounds? Because if not, probably I did something wrong. and I need to do it again. Yeah, remember, I'm new to this Twitch stuff and streaming and all of that. And I'm only doing it to fill in my time in the quarantine. And of course, give something back to the community. Okay, maybe I can recreate this part. Sí, Lucas, sonidos había puesto tipo hurra o I don't know, stupid sounds, you know, to make the chat more interesting since I can't read it all times. By the way, Usber is Lucas and he's my new and only moderator. So he's there to kick your ass if he has to. So be nice to him. If you want perks, that's the guy you need to talk to. Yeah, I fucked up. I don't know if you saw it, but I did, so I'm not gonna pretend I didn't. It's amazing because you look at it from the far and you don't see any of this. And if this was printed in a magazine, there's no way you would go into this much detail. But because this could be on the side of a building, so this hair could be the size of your hand, then we make it flawless. And also, even when you look at it from the far, it's gonna look so clean. And that's the idea. Sometimes I need to calculate how the flow would actually be if that hair wasn't there. And that's why I always say that cloning hair is like drawing. Okay, let me see. Can you see the show the folders? Oh, so I didn't activate it. Lydia, no idea, but I've been told that I have different qualities and you can choose. Is that not like that anymore? I didn't change any settings. The settings are the same as normal, as they always were. So any of the technical folks can help Lydia. Yes, Guido, yesterday actually. I wouldn't be cleaning it up if it wasn't. So one of the things that I was talking over with Natasha was the idea that she's gonna give me a set of images that need to be composite together. So we have a bunch of girls in a pose, but like always, in one of the shots one looks better, but she doesn't look good in the other one, and yet in that one of them doesn't look good. So we need to change a few of the girls from the main shot, and also they all have different skin tones, and we need to keep that, you know, because one is a redhead and the other one is a black woman. So we need to keep that while still making the image look good. So I think it's a really good challenge. And I was thinking of giving you guys those files with a proper brief from the client, from the photographer, and then you can work on it for a week, and I will correct it the next week. What do you think? I probably won't correct all of them if you send me 50, but I will choose the ones with actual issues to correct and mention what's more important and what needs to be changed and blah blah blah. Oh, how do I do that? Peppy touch. Okay, Peppy Touch was asking why not clone in an empty layer. So I forgot to include this in the frequently asked questions, but blending, when you clone in an empty layer with the blending mode changed, when you in the end merge the image, you could have undesired, unpredictable results. So once I realized that in one of my files, I didn't do it anymore. I didn't clone on empty files anymore, because that time I saw it, but what about if I don't notice, you know, and I deliver the file like that wrong? So I don't clone in an empty layer unless I have to. Hello Stefan, by the way, or someone using your company's name. Dixon. Otto, Jeremy Otto. I don't know what his name is now on Facebook. I know he changed it. But he's a friend of mine. Some people watching today know him, so that's why That's why I call him by name. Ah, so clean, so nice. Somehow I always end up living near a train. And near water also. Those are two things that I always live nearby. I think subconsciously, whenever I'm apartment hunting, I try to find, because I've lived in 3 houses with trains close by and water close by, so that can't be a coincidence. By the way, if any of you doesn't understand what I'm doing, just let me know and I will explain. And for the record, this is the last time that I will be retouching hair, but I had to do it once, so whenever people ask me, I can just link them to the video. Nope. I actually like this image. I think it's like highly commercial, like exactly what you get when you do hair work. I might even use it for portfolio if the photographer allows it. It's like magic. It's a kind of magic, magic. Do, 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 do. he stretch? Probably not, because he's asking about cleaning hair and frequency separation. I need all the frequencies when I'm cloning, you know, to recreate the shape. And when you're working on frequency separation, you're only working on texture. Also, what would be the point? You know, when you use something like frequency separation, you have a reason to use it, right? For example, the texture is too intricate and you want to keep the shape, so then you clone textures separately from shape, right? So in this case, what would be your rationale to use it instead of asking for my rationality not to use it? So I'm turning the question back to you. It's a kind of magic. And I will look in a few minutes if you answer. For some reason, people do everything with frequency separation as if it was the only tool that you can use. My advice is learn to clone properly. And then, if you want, you can use frequency separation, but understanding why you're using it and why that tool instead of another one. See. By the way, about Lydia's problem, I thought I had several qualities. What happened with that? I don't anymore? Should I change something on my side? Maybe not now, but for next time? Clean. Oh, whoa, sorry. I was not. Pepitouch, exactamente. Esa era la respuesta. Porque a veces la textura no encaja con el color. Necesitamos color, forma y textura cuando estamos clonando pelo, justamente porque fluctúa entre las los tres niveles de los tres rangos de frecuencia. I think you can program it. The shortcut to change the blending mode. I'm not sure though. I like not having a shortcut because I'm used to teaching and I want you to see what I'm doing, and when I change what I'm doing, I want you to see that I'm doing this, you know, that I'm changing the blending mode. So even if I had a shortcut, I wouldn't use it when I'm streaming. I'm really amazed that people actually enjoy watching me clean up hair. Lauti! Lauti is in charge of keeping the dogs in check while I'm streaming. some parts are easier than others. And some of these very thick dark parts, I think I need to fill them in when too much. When I'm done cloning the small hairs, I think I need to fill in some of these darker holes. Love of my life, and I never felt like this before. I need like a list of songs that I can play while I'm retouching. But then you would miss all my incredibly smart remarks. Okay, let's see. For an anti-freeze commercial. I also removed the hair over the skin, and I cleaned up the skin on the forehead. I still need to remove the hair from the lips. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Like reconstructing the lip could be a bit tricky, but I'll do my best. See, now I'm cloning on an empty. Actually, I should be cloning on its own layer. So here, darken. Because just in case, the photographer doesn't like it in the end and says, I want you to get rid of that hair, okay, so then all the retouching of that part goes with it. And if you're gonna ask me, can the client change their mind? Always. As long as they pay for it, they can always change their minds. So could Lydia solve the problem? I'm not following the chat. I'm gonna look now. Outer edge? No, not really. Patrick. Brainstar. Yes, it's fixed. But I didn't do anything, and they didn't do anything. It was just fixed. I think the problem was I was using OSB, and now I'm using a different one, and ever since I changed to Streamlabs, it just works perfectly. Drawing flyaways on the outer edges? I don't think so. Castiel, I usually have two, like one in the beginning, you know, to check the shape and the general tones, and then one at the end. But if it's advertising, as many as they want, as long as it's within the original brief. We can change it until forever, and I'm done when the image is done, and the image is done when the client is happy. So what I don't accept are corrections outside the original brief. You know, can we try this? No, we can't. If you can pay it, yeah, we can try it. So that's, I say that in the beginning, and that that usually helps the client to make a really clear brief from the start. And when you explain that any correction outside the brief will be paid by the hour, they usually don't have as many corrections. But then again, if it's commercial, they can change their mind as much as they want. So let's go back up, empty layer, that's the hair that I drew, and I'm gonna draw a little bit more hair because I didn't like how this ended up looking. How do I know how to paint or where to paint? Well, actually I have like a visual image of what I want it to look like, and then it's trial and error, in case you were wondering. Dixon, how do you handle situation if client wants you to do something that does not represent your level of work very well? For example, smooth skin too much. Well, I do it, I deliver it, I get paid, and I never work for that client again. I don't use it in my portfolio, of course. The client is always right. It's his image, not yours. So you do as the client asks. If you want to advise the client, you can advise them, like, I wouldn't go that far, I don't think it looks natural. But in the end, if the client wants it, the client gets it. And then you hide it and it never sees the light. And if you are really, really uncomfortable, you can ask the client not to mention your name if they publish it somewhere. Gracias, Brainstar. No tengo idea qué significa eso. Pero si querés después, Lucas, andás por ahí. Usber, él me explica cómo prender las notificaciones. ¿Qué es eso del de tipo, no sé cómo se activan las notificaciones o qué me hace a mí? O sea, sale en el chat, por ejemplo. Explíquenme, chicos, que soy vieja encima. No solo soy nueva en Twitch, soy vieja. Entonces todo lo que es tecnología se me complica. Bueno, en realidad nueva tecnología. Todavía soy millennial igual. O sea, estoy en el borde, pero millennial al fin. Pero qué lindo que queda cuando está limpio, ¿eh? No hay vuelta que darle. Uno se queja y dice, che, pero cuánto laburo, cuánto tiempo. Ahora después lo mirás limpio y es una maravilla. Sobre todo si se hace bien, ¿no? Que no se nota dónde se retocó. Queda re lindo porque realmente parece que el pelo estaba así de limpio. Que el pelo era así de impecable y de perfecto. I used to rotate, sorry, Peter Hangja, there is a reason why you don't use the rotate tool for the canvas. I do, I use it all the time. Didn't you see me spinning the image around whenever I have to clone something difficult? Oh, cool. Gracias, Brainstar. Después me fijo cómo funciona para poder que aparezca tipo, no sé, que salte algo en la pantalla, ¿no? Estaría bueno. Seguro, por eso, seguro Lucas sabe. Si no, hay otro chico que me está ayudando, y manga, que también me está ayudando bastante, fue el que me ayudó a setupear los controls. No sé si los vieron, estoy muy orgullosa. Ahora si preguntan por el Healing Brush o por el grupo de Facebook o por el Flow en vez de Opacity, les da la explicación sin que yo tenga que escribir nada. So, for those who are new today, I have programmed a few of the answers to the always asked questions. Wait, why is it not working? Oh, that's why. So if you ask something like, why do you use opacity instead of flow, the chat is gonna answer it. And if you ask what's the name of your group, the chat is going to answer it. If you ask where you can download the PSD files, or where, like, can I download this PSD file or something like that, it's gonna send the link. That doesn't work right now. By the way, I'm updating the links. I'm putting all the Twitch files on Dropbox because you people used all my traffic in pCloud for the month in 10 days. So people used 2 terabytes of traffic. That's my limit for the month, and you used it in 10 days. So obviously I can't use the pCloud for Twitch, because that's the same thing I use for my clients. So people download it a lot. Oh, that's the lip. That's cool. Need to be careful. So by the way, Brainster, you're my first donation. I think, because since I don't have notifications, maybe someone did it before and I didn't know. Oh. But as far as I know, you're the first. So do I need to take that out? Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean up this part. It looks messy, so I need to draw here. It looks weird. The texture looks off. So I'm gonna draw a base. So this is the base. smaller brush. Noise, filter blur. Okay, and now I need these ones. Should I add them? Okay, either way, I need to erase the edge. I'm not gonna add them. I'm gonna keep on removing this just to give it the right direction. Someone doesn't understand what I'm doing, by the way. I don't have a nice flow of hair down here. It's like, I don't know, too blotchy. So I'm drawing it myself. I don't know why it's like out of focus or something. So first I draw the base. No, I need to do the curve. Over it, small brush. Oh, okay. Nice there, and let's see how it all looks. I still have like a bit of hair there. Yeah, but it looks much sharper. So I need to remove some flying hair still, but the texture looks better now. Here. darken. Oh, darken. See, I still have traces of a flying hair here. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. I always merge it. Hair I can merge. So this is all the hair that I've drawn. It's looking good. It's already 5:30. It's been an hour of cleaning hair. Annoying cookie, dame un segundo. Okay, wait. I have a lot of questions. Hey, you got a badge. That's cool. Sorry, I lost a lot of the chat. Okay, so Stretch. I did a campaign recently for hair brand. It was 25 images for hair dye boxes and 3 for the ads. I spent a month on it. Would you do it in the same deadline? Let me think. 25 a month, a working month or a literal month, like 30 days or 20 days? Because I think 20 days for 25 boxes, let's say I can do working alone. I don't think I could do that. But I would probably have someone helping me clean up for the boxes, not for the main 3 images. But if that's what they gave you, a month, then that's fine. You do it in the time the client tells you to do it. That's the way it works. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and the chicks for free. Pieter, it's an amazing opportunity to watch you work on a file. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, because I can't believe people enjoy watching me cloning hair. How should I deal with clients that have a very low budget but want the same results from images in my portfolio? Okay, Oana Art. Well, that's actually your problem, because when they ask you for a fee, do you make it clear that the fee is for X amount of work or X kind of work? Because why do they think, you know, when they ask you for a fee, how do you manage that? Because when they have a budget, right, and they tell you, so we have this budget, you can either accept or deny. If they have a very low budget for a lot of work, then you don't accept. But if you gave them the price, it's natural that they expect the same level of work than your portfolio. That's the whole point of having a portfolio, because it showcase your level of work. So I don't really understand the question. I don't think that could happen. That's what I mean, you know? How did it happen? Why did it happen? Why are you working with a low budget on something that you don't agree with for that budget. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. I have a mosquito in my face. Shoo. Shoo. Okay, so my point is, when a client approaches you, usually either they have a budget, so they say, okay, so this is what we want and this is the money we have, okay? That's the client having a budget. So you can say, yeah, that's cool, that sounds fair, or you can say, no, the work I do in my portfolio is that many hours, so I can't do it for that money, okay? So that's your decision. And the other option is you gave them a low fee and they expect the work you have in your portfolio, and that's, yeah, of course, that's what portfolios are for. So maybe you can clarify on what you mean. R. Elías, no, el tren deja de pasar a las 11. Usber, Lucas, gracias. Sí. Okay, so about computer. I answered that in Instagram yesterday, I think, in all of the questions. By the way, that's the last time I do that. I did the ask me a question thingy and I got like 100 questions in 20 minutes. So yeah, first and last for me. Then again, I got like 600 new followers when I did the question thingy. I don't know how that works. So, computer, you need RAM, right? 16 minimal RAM. And you need a good storage unit, like not only because of the storage, but especially if you have a Mac, because if you have a Mac and your disk is half full, I don't know if it's the same in PC. It's been a while since I used a PC. But in Mac, if your disk is half full, your computer starts like running very slow. So I would have a big disk, and if you have partitions, just have the part running Photoshop completely empty. You know, the scratch disk in PC. And then I would suggest a solid state disk, and then a graphic card. You need a good graphic card, but mostly RAM. Yeah, if you have like a lot of RAM, everything else kind of falls secondary. But I think the most important part of a computer for retouching is the monitor. So if you have 200 gigabytes of RAM and you're working in a laptop, you're gonna have crappy images anyway. So having a good monitor is the first thing you need, because otherwise you're working blind. You don't know how your image actually looks like. Now, hello Niena. I remember you had a video, a hair tutorial long ago, and it was fucked up because the original was so bad. The hair in the original was so bad, and you did miracles with that file. I disagree with those kinds of tutorials now, because it teaches photographers that that's how a raw file looks for hair work, and that's not how a raw file looks for hair work. Okay, so I'm doing it with less patience now. So I'm gonna zoom in. See this, I did it from far, and you can still see the hair, and that looks really bad when you have hair ghosts. So I need to do some dodging and burning after. I still have so many flying hairs to do. Okay, so what do you think? I stopped cloning, okay, because it's already 5:40. So I'm gonna stop cloning. I still have like a few hair to clean, especially this area. See? Oh, sorry, especially in this area. See? This area is the one that needs more work, more cloning work right now. Maybe a few hairs here, but this is pretty clean. The rest of the hair is already pretty clean. So now I would do the dodging and burning, so you don't have to watch me doing this. What do you think? So my help was for the face, for the texture in the face. Dodge and burn. Just okay, I have a lot of images. So one art. What would be better, to have a price per hour or per image? Well, most clients don't really like per hour because they don't understand it. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't fix it per hour. So, okay, let me explain it. So, my fee is based on the amount of time it's gonna take me. But the client doesn't know. So if I say $50 an hour, they have no idea how much the project is gonna cost. So what I do is I make the client explain the project as well as he can. Maybe if they already have the images, to send me the images so I can evaluate them. And I ask them for a brief, you know, even if it's a spoken brief or an email saying what they need doing. I also ask what the So I also ask what the output is going to be. So if it's going to be a small print, I know how much work is going to go into it. And if it's going to be a big print, I know how much work is going to be into it. Now, if it's for portfolio, you know, you need to take into account that it's very important for them. You know, maybe it's not for you, and maybe the size won't be a big deal. But because it's for portfolio, they expect it to be perfect. Okay, so those are all things that you take into account when you're well, deciding how many hours it's going to take you, because you and only you know the time it's going to take you. Okay, so once you have that, you already know how much you want per hour, so that's your fee, and they can accept it or not. but there's nothing you can do about that. Another thing to take into account. Okay. Another thing to take into account is, do you already have that in your portfolio? Because if you don't, then you might consider, you know, rounding the number down because it's something you want in your portfolio. You know, for example, someone sends you a commercial job for a product, right? For a brand, for a good brand, and you need to retouch the product. Do you already have product in your portfolio? Do you already have that brand in your portfolio? Yes, no? Okay, if you already have it, then you charge whatever you charge. And if you don't have it, or you really want to have that brand in your portfolio, then you round the number down. 20, 30%, 50%, you know? It all depends on how much you want to have the job in your portfolio. So, rates is not something that you can say, I charge 25 per picture, because it makes no sense. What picture? What size? What for? Whom from? You know? Who from? Whom from? Anyway, I don't know. So I'm going to zoom out because I want to see the shape. Lot of cleaning here. No. Okay, I'm going to look at the images again. I see something in a language that I don't understand, and I got 1500 whatever that is. Yay! New thing for me. But I kind of feel like a hooker, like it's not normal. Neck is also a good brand, not only ASO. I mean, ASO is definitely the best, but Neck is a good brand. That's the one I use, pretty much because I can't get ASO in my country. So I use Neck, but I'm really happy with it though. It's very stable. I'm really content with my purchase. Okay, so yeah, more and more. So in these parts, these long holes, I think I'm going to clone to fill them in. Let me check. I'm gonna normal, because the blending mode is in the layer. Clone in lighten. Okay, so I'm gonna pick from here, and I'm doing it in an empty layer because after I paste it, I'm gonna transform it. Okay, why am I going to transform it? Because I don't want it to look like the hair like right next to it, and I want to fit my strands perfectly. So I can move it and manage to do that. Yeah, I clone from too close. So it's too similar. I'm gonna clone from further away, maybe here. So why? But I'm sampling. Don't argue with me, Photoshop. Do as I said. Okay, see? Because I'm cloning from a part that has a different direction, the hair, it doesn't quite fit where I want to put it, so I need to transform it and put it in lighten first. And now edit, free. Okay, so I need to warp it. Uno, dos, tres. Let's look at it from close and erase the parts that don't match. Okay, rest works. Yeah, that's better. Maybe it's too much here. Yeah. What do you think? Better? Mm-hmm. Hey, go more of those. I never thought about it. I guess I can refer you to my mom. Juan is asking, would you consider teaching about the business side of retouching one day? I find it very difficult to set prices, communicate with clients about the details of the work. Onart, your English is perfect, don't worry. So I really never thought about teaching that. I guess it's natural for me. Then again, I did study advertising communication, so maybe that has something to do with it. Wait, let me put the help darker, and let's work on the skin a bit. Yeah. I guess I could do that. Never thought about it. I've always, advise people whenever they ask me for advice. Never thought about actually creating a class for that. Something to think about, I guess, right? But it's true. I mean, most people don't know how to write an email, or a certain guidelines that you learn by hitting yourself in the foot, like establishing how many rounds of corrections or a timesheet. We don't do that in the beginning. Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe I can prepare a class for that, specific for that. I'm gonna think about it. Thank you, by the way, for the idea, and thank you for all the bits. I don't know what they do or how they work, but thank you. And I'm sorry about your badge, Brainster. I know it meant a lot to you. By the way, I've been thinking of things to give away. I really want to make the Twitch work. It's like a goal, because I've never worked on a social media social media before. Like, I have them all, but I never do anything with them. And this one I want to put in the work, and I want to create Capture One styles and actions in Photoshop, so to do things that I normally do. For example, I have a thing that I do when I want to bust the colors, like separate the colors, and I put it in an action for a friend. But I think that could be a really cool action if you only want to make the colors brighter, for example. So I'm thinking of preparing actions with colors and presets for Capture One of tones that I create, and give them away, I don't know, to people who watch it every day, or I don't know, as a prize in a contest. What do you think? I'm like a kid with a new toy with this Twitch thing. By the way, no one asked me questions about retouching. Just Chile. I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. Vitot90 en Argentina. Contame, ¿sos retocador o fotógrafo? Are you a retoucher or a photographer? Okay, so now I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to work on the shape of the face. See how when you zoom out, all the crappiness like really appears that you didn't see before? So cool. Okay, I'm gonna get comfortable. Let me see it without the help. Okay, cool. Let's go. I think I'm gonna pay my son to be my Twitch assistant. So whenever I'm streaming, he can be watching the chat and letting me know when people say things. I'll give him 50% of my whatever that is that you are donating me. Okay. Touching and burning the whole face. I'm gonna touch and burn Getting rid of the bad shadows, leaving only the ones that add shape. Okay, I don't see anything already. Wait, I'm gonna make it everything really dark. Okay, there we go, better. So why am I making everything really dark? Can you see the flaws now? Because I couldn't see it before, it was too overexposed. Vito, entonces, si vas a ser retocador, ¿por qué tenés que pasar presupuestos en Argentina? Yo soy de Argentina y en Argentina tengo un solo cliente, que es Juan. ¿Por qué trabajarías en Argentina? Trabaja por internet para el resto del mundo, en donde pagan en euros y son responsables y el mercado es mejor. O sea, ¿por qué trabajarías en Argentina? Yeah, that's right. Brainstar, you got the ball rolling. Actually, Brainstar is an infiltrated of mine. I gave him the coins, bits, whatever that is, to donate. So, you know, he would get people donating. It's an old trick. I'm kidding, by the way. That's not what we did. I would never think of something like that. By the way, there was something. Something I really liked about this part. Wait, let me check the lighting. Cool. Wow, that really works. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at retouching. Okay, wait. Okay, so let's go in. So I'm cheating. I'm exaggerating something that was created with the light, and when I saw it up close, I really liked it, so I'm exaggerating it, and I'm going to create the shape here because I don't like it. contrast so it looks like makeup. Too much. Actually, wait. Yeah. Awesome. What do you think? Too harsh? Nah, it works, right? Okay, so now all of this part is like green. So wait, this is actually color correction. So color corrections. So let's put it in where it belongs. And now I need to make this pink. So I don't know if you can see the issue, but I can, so that's what's important. But I see it. Okay. And what about the eye? Actually, the white of the eye looks so clean, but I'm gonna push it even further because I'm crazy. I like the white of the eye to be really white. Oh, there's one eye, only one eye. I still need to clean up some hair here. Actually, I can do it now because I saw it. Why? Nope. If I go quiet, it's because it's difficult. Okay. This is a really nice shape to exaggerate with. Oh wait, I'm gonna do it with one. Yeah. I'm gonna save this so I remember it. Select inverse and let's use normal. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, I like it. Maybe not so round though, maybe more triangular. So let's paint here. I completely left like the chat on its own. So Vito, you would be the other one who would want a class on business. trick, no, I never do it. If you're doing that, it's because you're overdoing the dodging and burning, so it's better to do it right from the start. But well, it takes time to do it right. So if you have to do that, pulling down the opacity, do it, because it's not a bad practice. But usually when you do it right, you don't need to do that. Okay. I really like this. Let's emphasize the shadow here and the lip and the highlight. I really like the natural highlights of the lighting. I don't know if Juan is listening. I'm not trying to kiss his ass. But I really do like it. I'm going to increase the gold in the makeup because I didn't see it before. And if there is gold in the image, I want it to be very obvious. There was gold and orange, and I saw the orange, but I saw the cover, but I didn't see the gold, so I'm making it more obvious. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, maybe a bit less green. So, what do you think? I'm going to pimp the lips as well. Just colorize pink. Because some parts, I don't know if you, it's very subtle, but some parts here have like a bit of orange from a reflection, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so the mask is actually really easy to create. So it's already 6:14. So the next things that I would do is I would clean up what is left to be cleaned up of the hair, and then I would create the mask and replace the background. But I wouldn't do a lot more to the hair. Maybe remove, I'm gonna mark it on my markups. So this is what I have to do. This area and maybe this highlight and this shadow, and also this highlight is too strong and very square, so I need to convert it into shadow and then paint more light here and here, so that way I have the highlight. This is mid-tone, and again highlight and shadow, maybe a bit of shadow here. So wait, let's do the shadow blue. Yeah, so I have shadow here and I need some shadow here, and the highlight, I think it should be more to the bottom. Okay, yeah, so highlight, mid-tone, shadow, shadow and shadow. Shadow and shadow. Right? Yeah, that looks like a good shape. So I will do that, and it's all with dodging and burning, so you're not missing much. And then tomorrow I will do all the dodging and burning, and tomorrow I will do the mask and replace the background and upload the file. Okay. I think tomorrow I will also start with a close-up if I get the file for tomorrow. So thank you for watching, and let me see. Oh, sorry. Yeah. By the way, if she didn't say take off the headset, I would do the same as I do always. Why do you think some people overdo dodging and burning? Most people. I think when you learn how to make something, right, and you know how to make it perfect, you want to make it perfect because you think, if I can make it better and better and better and better, then why not do it? So you start removing every imperfection, everything that doesn't match, and then you end up with a flat file. So yeah, every detail is perfect, but it doesn't look natural. So finding the balance between natural and perfect and flawless, it takes a lot of time. So most, and I'm including myself big time, most people will over retouch for a few years until they find this balance, and this is very difficult to find balance. I sometimes overdo some things. So the thing is, I wouldn't reduce the opacity right now. I would just take it off and start over, you know, because I don't want less of the bad. I want to do it right. So actually, that's my advice. Don't put down the, yeah, that's gonna look good, right? Because right now it's kind of blotchy here. It's not perfect. So I'm gonna do a poll, okay, in my Twitch. So would you rather see me doing the change of the background, or do you want to see me shaping the hair with light? Interesting. I'm going to create the poll right now. Yeah, I was in the group. I'm trying to upload the new files. Okay, so Twitch. So I'm going to create the poll. Edit panels. Streamlab. No, this one. Configure. Pulling. Okay, close pull and run pull. Oh, activate. Replace countdown. Okay, so I'll do it later. And Lucas is going to help me do it. Wait. Yeah, okay, I don't know how to do it now. Maybe I'll do it in YouTube because it's easier. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. You have until tomorrow at the same time to vote which one you want me doing. The changing of the background or the reshaping of the hair with light. See you tomorrow.